Well, we are following developing news out of Israel this morning. Israel's foreign minister says at least 6 people have been killed in a shooting attack in Jerusalem. The attack happened at a bus stop during the morning rush hour. Hamas has denied carrying out the attack, but it follows news on Friday when Israeli Defense Forces said that they had taken control of 40% of Gaza City. Now, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced Israel's intention to seize all of the Gaza Strip after indirect talks with Hamas on a ceasefire broke down in July. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has warned that if violence continues, it would push civilians even deeper into catastrophic famine. Well, our next guest was working at a hospital in Gaza in July. Dr. Deirdre Nunan is an orthopaedic surgeon who completed her medical training in Prince George, and Dr. Nunan's been good enough to join us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Obviously not good news coming out of Israel again this morning, but Gaza is a place that you have returned to over the past couple of years. How have you seen the situation change over the time that you've spent there?
I've been to Gaza 3 times during the past calendar year, during the past full year, and every single time I go to Gaza, it is markedly worse. Every single time I'm there, I think it can't possibly get any worse. But yet what I see is that it is getting worse. When I was there in July for 3 weeks, I saw colleagues that I've known sometimes for years in my time in Gaza before this past year, and they have lost incredible amounts of weight. They have been working under unimaginable conditions, treating patients that have been wounded by explosive attacks, airstrikes, tank missiles, on the tents that they are forced to now call home. And then the other category of patients that we're treating are people that have been wounded by sniper shots and tank fire while these people are trying to get food.
You're talking about in July. I mean, most recently we've seen Israel really step up the assault on Gaza. We saw footage over the weekend of missiles hitting, multiple story buildings that were just leveled as a result. What else have you been hearing from people who are still on the ground there, your colleagues?
Many of my colleagues still have family and friends who are living in Gaza City itself. Nasser Hospital, where I was, is farther south in Khan Yunis, where there's already been a great deal of destruction from military attacks over the last 22 months. In Gaza City, people who have steadfastly held out there for 22 months are terrified by what might be proposed to drive them further south. When they say nothing so far that they have suffered have driven them out, and yet they see a new plan to force them from what remains of their homes, force them to go into the south of Gaza, which is already horrifically overcrowded. And people are very, very scared of what is about to happen. And I think we need to contextualize this, especially when we look at attack in Jerusalem that's killed 6 people, which is a horrific attack. But we should also think, how many people in Gaza were killed this morning? How many people in Gaza were killed yesterday? It doesn't make our airwaves because it's not new. But the horrific thing is that it's going on and on and on every single day. People killed, people who are dying because they have been starved to death, and people that are facing unimaginable conditions, from being forced to flee from what remains of their homes to a very, very uncertain future.
The UN and many other agencies say that there is an ongoing famine, a human-caused famine taking place in Gaza right now. How dire is that situation when it comes to people getting any food at all?
I was reading the latest UN report on the market availability last night, and although the situation has improved very slightly since I left Gaza, with some more trucks being allowed in, some of these are commercial trucks, and so food is being sold for a profit to people who have been starved. The prices are astronomical. These are people that many have not been able to have a paid job for the last 2 years. And before those 2 years, there was crippling poverty in the Gaza Strip. And so people continue to be very vulnerable. the effects of this starvation have already been felt in an irreversible effect, especially to the most vulnerable people, people with pre-existing conditions, small children and babies, women who are pregnant, who are often not able to carry their babies to term, or for those who do, we will actually see the effects in the next generation and in the children of those babies that are born to women right now. It's absolutely appalling because unlike many other places in the world where there are even more people that face famine or starvation than in Gaza right now, there is an easy solution, and it is present right there on the ground, just across the border. There is food available. It's simply a matter of availability and distribution. And
And
that is political will, which is driving that.
and how is food getting into the hands of people who are trying to profit from its distribution?
Some of the trucks that are coming across this border are commercial trucks. They are meant from the beginning for sale. Other trucks that are coming across are aid trucks, and understandably, people that have been forced into absolute desperation are not willing to wait to see if they will be lucky enough to be one of the few to whom this food is distributed. And so they take their matters into their own hands and they try to take the food from the trucks themselves. Some of them who might be able to get more than they can eat immediately may choose to sell that to other people around them.
As you indicated, Dr. Nunan, this has become such a daily occurrence that the reporting, well, first of all, it's been very difficult to report out of Gaza, and also so many journalists who have attempted to do so have been killed. Um, what can you say about the attention this is getting from the global community at the moment?
We don't have foreign journalists on the ground in Gaza and have not for almost 2 years. And as you say, the Palestinian journalists in Gaza who are trying to report on their own situation, doing this for longer than we would ever consider asking a war correspondent to
Of
work
course.
and acting under conditions which we would never tolerate, considering that their whole families and themselves are at risk. And so we do not see nearly enough news. We do not see good quality news. We do not see analysis. We do not see questioning. We just see this very superficial reporting of what we have allowed to become the status quo. And it's very disappointing, and it is deadly for Palestinians.
For Canadians who watch this and would like to do something to change the situation, what can they do?
Many Canadians right now are pinning their hopes on UN Resolution 377, which has become known as Uniting for Peace, because we've seen that when the Security Council votes about Gaza and Israel, there's often a veto vote used. And so it doesn't matter what the other countries are voting so long as a veto is used against them. But UN Resolution 377 can potentially be used and has been used in the past to circumvent this problem in the UN. And so this is a moment coming up to the UN General Assembly that will be held later on this month. This is a moment for Canadians to really put pressure on all of our politicians, from your local MP to our Foreign Affairs Minister to the Prime Minister, and also to our UN Ambassador Bob Rae. We need to show what Canadians want. We need to show that Canadians want an end to this genocide, a lasting peace, and better conditions for Palestinians.
You're going to be taking part in an event with author Naomi Klein this evening, a talk. Tell me why it's important for you to, I guess, return from these humanitarian trips and then talk about what you've seen.
It's what my colleagues and my patients ask me the most when I'm in Gaza. They say, tell our stories, don't let us be forgotten, and do what you can to ask the people of the free world, as they put it, to help us. So I want to make good on my promise to fulfill that request.
Dr. Nunan, we very much appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
You take care. It's Dr. Deirdre Nunan, an orthopedic surgeon who has worked, well, now for 3 stints in Gaza.